There are two different kinds of people. You've got boom arm people and desk stand people. And this one's for the latter group. Even boom people sometimes need a decent desk stand. So with that in mind, I present you with the Rode DS2 desk stand. See, it is a broadcast microphone desk stand. Is it just me or am I saying desk stand a lot? And before any of you are out there shaking your head wondering why this is such a big deal, well, you may want to see this. But first, let's take a look at the pros and cons when you compare this to a boom arm. So, boom arms are ubiquitous with audio setups these days. They are convenient, they allow perfect placement, and they can offer a bit of shock protection against table bumps or rumbles in general. However, they do have drawbacks. You see, they're always in the way, even when they're stored in their folded state. They're connected to a surface, and while they can be moved, they generally aren't. This is especially an issue if you have larger monitors like me. Even with a low-profile boom arm, they still take up desk space. And in the case of my setup, they struggle to make up the distance to my mouth, and that's due to my 43-inch monitor. I know, it's a tough life. But there are other issues as well. Not every setup can have an affixed boom arm. Are you recording your podcast in your dining room? Not the best spot, not gonna lie, but it might be necessary if you have 4 people working on it. Or maybe you're doing video and the idea of a boom arm in your shot doesn't sit right with you. These are all valid concerns. However, the desk stand hasn't been a perfect solution either. And the issue with these stands is simple. This base is round. This is an average desk stand that you'd buy off Amazon. And with the round desk stand, the center of gravity is in the middle, meaning with any kind of microphone hanging over the edge, it can tip over quite easily. And that's all because of leverage. It can be hard to get the microphone close to your mouth, and to make matters worse, the more you extend them, the worse they are at tipping. Again, because of leverage. And even worse than that, you might actually be able to extend it fully, but the slightest touch, the base might tip. And while I know this seems silly to some as it is just a desk stand, I can think of a bunch of people in my life that this is the exact answer to that issue. The Rode DS2. Now, you will notice on this stand, the mount is on the back of the pad to the edge, and the base has more of a footing in the direction that the mic is supposed to be pointed in. And this is the DS2 with the Electro Voice RA20. Now, this is an absolutely ridiculous setup, but possible with this stand. And you will notice the microphone is actually overhanging the base completely. The mic stand weighs about 3.2 pounds, and it can hold about 2 pounds on it. Now, the tightening nuts on this thing work quite well, though. If you do plan on stressing it with a really heavy mic like me, you're going to need your finger strength to get it into position. But the best thing about this is that you can easily put it away. On top of that, this thing comes with an adapter with a smaller 1/4-inch mount, which allows you to use cameras and such with it as well. Which means you have a little table stand for your camera that, again, just packs away when you're done with it. Now, for me, I've been struggling when I have more than 2 mics in my setup. I've had to use a boom stand from behind my camera to get the 3rd mic into view, and this thing's going to come in handy to avoid that. But also, when I want to shoot from another location than this setup, it does give me a bit of leeway for both my camera and or my microphone. And best of all, with the zombie outbreak, this thing would make an excellent blunt weapon. I'm just saying. Now, I do know there's a lot of people looking at the sticker price on this and wondering if it's actually worth it. And for some, but the price might be a bit of a con. But you should really consider this first. If you have a microphone on the end of it and you spent decent money on that microphone, are you willing to take the chance on a boom or a desk stand like this that is cheap? I wouldn't if I were you, especially if you're putting a condenser on it. I do think the added use cases for the DS2 do make it stand out a bit more than the other options you're going to find online. But I'm curious, which camp are you in? Are you camp boom or are you camp stand? Let me know down below. Cheers, guys, and thanks for watching.